The usual trend in the auto market is for manufacturers to add new models into their lineup. Well, Acura for 2015 has done something a little bit different. They've taken two models, their Acura TSX and their TL, and they've turned it into one model only. So maybe the best of both worlds. This here is the 2015 Acura TLX. We're here in Middleburg, Virginia, and we're going to find out if less is more. So why take two cars and turn them into one? Well, just to avoid a little confusion. First off, you have the smaller ILX, which is similar in size to the TSX. Then you have the TL, which is similar in size to the RLX. So you take the smallest ILX and the flagship RLX, and in the middle, you have the TLX. The TLX retains the same wheelbase as the outgoing TL, but what they've done is they've shortened the overhangs of the front, the back, and they've taken a little bit off the top. The result is a sportier looking sedan. You can't miss that signature shield style grille and the LED jewel lights, the same found on the RLX and the MDX now. What you get is a TL with a TSX size footprint. Well, it's quite impressive what Acura has done on the interior of the new TLX here. The exterior, like I said, mimics the size of a TSX, where the interior is like the TL. So they've got the best of both worlds. You get a nice small package with a lot of room inside. Well, the inside, lots of soft touch materials as you would expect in an Acura. The brushed metal theme on the shield from the front kind of continues on the inside here. As you can see, the brushed metal here, brushed metal on the passenger side, even on the door handles. The middle Acura link, very similar to other Acura products like the MDX, almost identical, fairly easy to use. What I really like is they have a manual volume knob, which I love, and also a manual volume knob on the steering wheel, and it also is a dual function, so you can actually go side to side and select your tracks or your station, or go up and down for volume. Now, one thing missing from the middle console here is a gear selector. Acura has opted out of the gear selector and went to a button system, quite an attractive system here. It just continues right through here. You get park, reverse, neutral, and just one round button for drive. If you continue on here, it's electric parking brake, and it has a brake hold or auto hold, which some manufacturers call. I'm a huge fan of this. If you don't know what it is, you just got to try it out. Basically, you apply it when you're driving around, when you stop at a stoplight or a stop sign or in traffic. You can take your foot right off the brake. Like I've said before, once you've had it, you never want to go back. The seats are very comfortable and actually quite large. You got these kind of shoulder bolsters here, which makes it feel like a lot bigger seat. As for the back seats, considering this seat here is fairly far back for the passenger, there's a surprising amount of room back there, and my knees don't even touch the front. Here's a handy everyday feature in the trunk. The floor has a hidden compartment, and you just open this flap up and you can put whatever you want in it. Another great feature though is you can flip it over, revealing this hard plastic side. So if you have dirty boots or toys or things like that, you don't want to dirty the carpet up, you can place it on this side. With 3 different versions of the TLX, there's a TLX for everyone. There's a 4-cylinder, a V6, and a V6 with super handling all-wheel drive. The first one being the one we're driving right now, it's a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder direct injection motor with 209 horsepower. Now what's new is this engine option comes with an 8-speed dual clutch automatic transmission. And not only is that new, but this new dual clutch transmission comes with a torque converter. What does that mean to the everyday driver? Well, if you've ever driven a dual clutch transmission car, at lower speeds it can be a little bit jerky. That torque converter smooths everything right out. The 8-speed can be shifted manually as well with the paddle shifters on board right here. And when you put it into manual mode, that 209 horsepower feels quite lively, and the shifts are fairly quick. So if you want a little bit more sport, you might opt for the 4-cylinder. two-wheel drive TLXs come with precision all-wheel steering. It's an electrical mechanical system that can turn the rear wheels to help in handling. Now, it's not a type of system that's going to allow you to park sideways into a stall. What it really does is it gives you the feeling of the car being really centered. Also, under braking, the rear wheels can turn inward, allowing you to brake even more effectively. One thing to note is the four-cylinder comes with the normal gear selector, not the button style. So the sport factor of the TLX, well, it comes from the suspension being able to work very well because they've really stiffened up this chassis. Now on the luxury side, what makes it luxurious is, of course, the materials used, the seats, but the number one thing is how quiet this car is. With the use of noise canceling technology and acoustic foam, man, this car is quiet regardless if you get the 4 or the 6-cylinder. Just have a listen. Now we are on very, very smooth Virginia roads here. The roads here are just fabulous, but let's have a listen. It's quiet. The second engine option in the TLX is what we're driving right now. It's a 3.5-liter direct injected V6, putting out 290 horsepower, basically the same amount of horsepower that the Acura MDX does, but it's not exactly the same engine. Unlike the 4-cylinder that comes with an 8-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission, the V6 comes with a 9-speed automatic. Now, it's not a dual-clutch, but it's a 9-speed automatic. The great thing with the 9-speed is, first of all, better fuel economy. Next thing is the shifts are almost seamless since there's so many gear ratios, and smooth is good with the TLX. Like I already said, this thing's really quiet. Now you add in a V6 engine, which is like butter, it's so smooth, and you get this transmission. This is definitely a more luxurious ride than the 4-cylinder. The V6 is available with SH all-wheel drive or super handling all-wheel drive. Now, this is almost a must, I'd say. If you can afford it, I would really recommend getting the SH all-wheel drive. I've had a chance to try out the SH all-wheel drive on the previous TL on a racetrack in the rain. I gotta tell you, it's incredible what it can do to keep you on the road. So is less more? In this case, I really do think they did a good job combining the TSX and the TL together, making this TLX. You know, it's a real bargain considering for $34,990, the base model, it comes with a lot of standard features and you get a lot of car for a luxury car. And for $39,990, you can get a V6 with all-wheel drive, which is perfect for our Canadian winters. So if you're in the market for a luxury car like this, make sure this is on your list.